Hey, what's going on? I'm Deanna Cruz here with Ava Max. Welcome.
Thank you for having me. Hi.
I got to say, huge congratulations. An unbelievable year for you in the US, overseas with the success of Kings and Queens.
Thank you.
Congratulations. How are
Thank
you
you.
feeling with that?
I'm really excited. I feel like, being in 2021 right now, it feels like just yesterday, though, I released my debut album in September. So I'm still kind of living in the moment and feeling good about the record that just came out and working on more music per usual. And since we really have nothing else to do but work.
So, have you been working a lot while you're at home, quarantining and staying in? Have you been writing new music?
I just started writing again and it feels so good. I feel so like ready and my journal's getting like full again because I just have so many ideas and it feels good to kind of step away and then come back in.
Mhm.
It's like it's just an overflow of emotions. I'm so excited.
Kings and Queens, #1 on the Hot AC radio for 6 weeks. You received 1.7 billion streams on Spotify in 2020. Were you expecting this? Did you think that this was going to happen with Kings and Queens?
Um Honestly, I never know what's gonna go. I mean, when I release a single, I don't think, oh my God, it's gonna go to number one. It's a hit. More so, I just think, oh, wow, I love the message. I hope people love it. If not, I'll continue releasing more music.
Right, right.
Kings and Queens doing what it did and being like that, it was like the one that could because it was released in March and it kept going and going and going. And I'm just like, this song is just never stopping. So I'm guessing people like the message.
Right.
But
Right.
I feel like if you don't love female empowerment, then bye. Because like
I agree. I agree.
all it's about now.
So,
Sorry.
so talk to me about your thought process when you are writing the songs, especially let's talk about Kings and Queens.
It's all about anthemic music for me. I want to be able to listen to my music and go for a run or dance all day, in rehearsals and have that energy. I want it to have that energy. I want the music to lift people up. I want people to feel like, if they're having a bad day, they can put on my music, and then they can just dance and not think, and also have strong lyrics. I think strong lyrics is the number one thing in my music. Even now writing, I can tell you, like it's getting even stronger and more anthemic. If you didn't think that was possible, it is, and I can't wait to release this new music. But I think it's just in my veins. Growing up in an Albanian household, my family and my parents and my aunts and uncles, they were very strong, and especially the women in my family. They're very outspoken, and that's how I kind of was raised to be. And sometimes I got to shut myself up because I'm just like, okay, girl, you're a little too outspoken. But that's how I am naturally, and that's how I write my music. And yeah.
So you grew up in an Albanian household. You were your first generation, correct?
Hmm. Yeah.
So I'm first generation as well. My parents are Portuguese.
Oh
And
no.
yeah, so I remember growing up and I remember going to kindergarten for the first time and having such a hard time because I grew up speaking Portuguese, and having the hardest time speaking English. And I'm like, and I knew some things because I learned from Sesame Street because what we spoke at home was Portuguese, right? We didn't really speak English. My grandparents were here at the time as well. They ended up going back to
Same.
Portugal. Yeah. So did you grow up similar to that? Like, were you speaking Albanian at home, and then when you went to school you were kind of like, ooh, it was kind of a shock to you?
Oh yeah, my parents and my brother were all born in Albania. Grew up in Albania. My brother left when he was around 7, and then they stayed in France for a year when they escaped Albania at the time because it was communist. And so when they stayed in France for the year, it was funny. My brother started speaking French, and I was almost born in France, so I could have been a French baby. And that would have been cool. Could have been eating croissants since birth. But my
That
dad
could be
wanted,
dangerous.
I know, but my dad wanted to come here. So I was born in Wisconsin. So that they only knew Albanian when I was born. And so I only knew Albanian. So when I went to kindergarten, I didn't know English, maybe just hi and bye. And then I had an ESL teacher up until like 8th grade.
Oh, wow. Okay. I never had an ESL teacher, but I always tell myself, I'm like, man, maybe I should have, my parents should have invested in that, you know?
No, 'cause it really it's no, like, I don't even know if they invested in it, it just came for
It
free, I
just
guess.
happened.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it
yeah, yeah.
happened, and she really helped me. Mrs. Spears, I love her. If you're listening, thank you.
Mrs. Spears. There's always that one teacher. For me, it was Mrs. Bloomstone, and she was my sixth grade teacher.
We always remember 1
That
or
one teacher. Yeah. Talk to me. Okay. So I read that your mom was an opera singer. Did you
Mhm.
grow up with her singing to you? Is she one of your major influences? Do you know how to sing opera music?
It's crazy because I remember them struggling a lot when they came to America, but I always remember my mom singing around the house, and she had to have 3 jobs with my dad as well, 3 jobs each, and she kinda had to give up on that dream, and she went to music school back in Albania growing up, and she loved singing opera, and it came natural to her, and we would sing around the house all the time, and I would be so in awe of her voice. It's so loud even to this day. I tell her she can break, like, windows or so it's so loud, her operatic voice. And so I'm just like, I'll never be able to reach that. She's like
Mhm.
number one in our family, my mom. She's great. But I think I got it from her, you know? So
Mhm.
I love that about my mom that I could share that with her.
She never made you go to take like opera classes or opera lessons or at all, did she?
There was one teacher that I went
Okay.
to growing up, and not for opera, but he loved opera music. And I'm like, Mom, did you find this guy that loved opera music on purpose? But I guess if you know how to sing opera, you can kind of go into anything else easier, I've heard.
Mhm.
So because it's like that middle range in your voice and that really high note. So I was singing opera for a second, operatic music, but then, I kind of got bored because I was a kid and I was like, you know what, I'll just start singing Britney Spears.
It's kind of like ballet, right? They tell you should have that classical training and then you can go on and do whatever you want, dance wise. So that's kind of, I guess, what you would say with opera and singing, right?
Yeah, my mom tried. I mean, it lasted about a year and a half. You know
Hey,
You know what? This guy, I forgot his name, but he was in Virginia and he had like 3 pugs always in the in the vocal session, and they were just drooling. They were so cute. But I remember he said it takes 1% talent and 99% hard work. So it doesn't matter how talented you are, if you don't work hard, it doesn't work. So ever that stuck with me. I'm just like, wow. Doesn't matter that I can sing. There are a million amazing singers out there. There really are. It depends on how much you want it.
I totally agree with that. It's how much the effort you put into it, right?
Yeah.
And the dedication. And I think one of the important lessons too, and I've heard you say this too, is just never give up. If you have this dream, just keep going with it, right?
Yes, exactly. And so that's why that stuck with me growing up. And even when I would tend to forget, my mom would remind me.
Where's your mom now? Tell her to come over and sing a little opera for us.
She's probably cooking. She loves to cook. She's always cooking. And my dad's a lucky one because he gets free cooking all day.
Speaking about cooking, like does she always cook food from Albania, or like what is, I don't know any, I don't have never tried any of your food. So
Albanian food is so, so good. I mean, we have a thing called chofte, which is like kind of like meatballs, but Albanian style. A lot of
mhm.
like good seasoning, garlic and all that. And it just tastes so good. So chofte, spanakopita from scratch. So it's
Mm,
kind of like a mixture of Greek a little bit because
okay.
we're so close to Greece. So, we like to put feta cheese on everything. And so it's kind of
Mm.
like similar, but Albanian.
Okay, sounds like I would like it then.
Lamb, rice, stuff like that.
What's your favorite dish?
I
Albanian
have to
dish.
say her spanakopita.
Okay.
So good. It's like, I mean, oof, I could cry. It's so good. She makes it from scratch. And the chofta, the
Okay.
I guess meatballs.
Now, do you know how to cook these dishes as well?
No. And
You'll leave it to mom, right?
no, I've tried and I've tried learning. This is her. She's like, and I'm like, what? She's like, no, no, no.
How
She's like, get away from my kitchen. She's like, get away from my kitchen. Like, you're distracting me. I'm like, no, but what are you doing? She's like, I'm just throwing things. I don't measure. And I'm like, Mom, how am I going to like show my kids? She's like, well, just watch. I was like, but this looks so confusing. She
My
just
mom does the same thing. She doesn't even tell, like, it's just throw it in there. Oh, okay. Yeah, it needs a little bit more salt. Here, taste this. It tastes good. All right, good.
exactly. And I'm
Yeah,
like, I think it's just how she's used to cooking. And one day I'll learn.
right. Put that on your list. we don't know how long we'll have to stay indoors, but that's one thing you could put on your list, write music, learn how to cook, right?
I know. I need to go over and really, really watch. And it's so confusing because she's so quick. She can make anything in 2 seconds.
So have you gone back to Albania?
No. I was
You
gonna
haven't?
go. No, I was gonna go this year,
Mhm.
but the pandemic. No, not this year. 2020. I was gonna go last year. I forgot. It's 2021 now. See how
Right.
fast 2020 went by? I forgot. We're in 2021.
Yeah.
So 2020, like we're supposed to be like a family trip, at least 3 weeks there in Greece and Italy and Germany, where we have all our family members, but we couldn't go. And it was so upsetting. Even my mom got really upset because she told everyone she was coming, and obviously something called COVID came.
Right. And a bunch of cancellations and a bunch of, hey, stay at home. So have your parents gone back at all or no?
No,
No.
they
Okay.
have just been working since they came here. And, I really wanted to do that for them last year. So hopefully maybe later this year if everything opens up.
Yeah. Keeping your fingers crossed, right?
I know. I'm hoping. I mean, I don't know. I'm hoping to tour. I'm hoping to see my fans again in
Mhm.
person.
It seems like you have a really tight relationship with your family. I know that when you released your album a few days later, your grandfather passed away. So I'm so sorry for that. And how was that feeling? It's like, you have your album Heaven and Hell and you're like, yeah, it's fine. I finally released this, something I've worked so hard on, right? And then that happens and your grandfather passes away. So how did you deal with that?
That was so horrible. It was kind of out of nowhere as well because he was fine, and then within 3 days he was deteriorating. Like it was just like I heard like actually the night my album came out on September 18th, I heard he's I don't know what's going on with him. He's getting weaker. He can't really walk. Next day, not feeling good, stomach pains. The other day he was on a hospital bed, and then it was crazy because it was really hard because they wouldn't allow my father in because of COVID and he didn't speak English. So then we had to take him out of the hospital because we couldn't leave him alone. And so it was like so much craziness happening during such an exciting time as well for my album, Heaven and Hell, coming out. And then it was kind of heaven and hell.
Yeah.
Really. It was heaven and hell. And on September 21st, he passed, and it was peaceful in his sleep. And it was hard for all of us though to watch him go because again, it's like the longer actually you have your grandparent, the more you get close to them, and the older you are, the wiser you are, and the more you know how much they even mean to you. Because when you're super, super young and they pass, like maybe you don't get to know them as much. So this one was really hard, but it taught me to really again cherish the moment with people I love.
Yeah. I'm sorry. I'm sorry for your loss.
No, it's okay. Thank you. That's life. And I think the best thing we can do again is live each day like to our fullest and be around people we love.
I agree. Did you ever get a chance to ask him his story? My grandfather lived till he was in his 80s. And then I kind of was like, why did you choose? My family moved to Connecticut. Why did you choose Connecticut out of all places? The US is so big. And then, and then he tells me, oh, so-and-so got a job there. And then he called to have me work here at this factory. And then did you get that story from your grandfather?
Yeah, I mean, when my family came to the US, as immigrants, they brought my grandparents as well.
Mhm.
And so when they came over, he started working because he was so social. He was like a comedian back in Albania. He played a clown on stage. He was like an entertainer, and that's where I got a lot of my entertainment.
Oh.
He was an actor. He was in movies in Albania, and I need to find these films. But he was so incredible, and black and white movies, of course. And so when he came here, he started working in the circus and working in the in like fairs when they would come to Virginia. And so he would like make the balloons. And so that's what he would do when he came to America because he had so much fun kind of in that entertaining world. But then, it was tough after my grandma died, and then he kind of just didn't want to leave the house. And it's harder when you leave everything behind, like he did in Albania, come here, lost his wife, and then still had to go on, with no one, and except for my family, obviously. But it's a tough one for especially immigrant families leaving everything behind. I saw that firsthand with my family, and it's a lot of hard work and a lot of dedication, and it's a lot of sacrifice, and you know, that's mainly the reason why I didn't give up on my dream, because I'm like, okay, if they can do all that crazy stuff and risk their lives leaving a communist country at the time, I can do this. You know.
Yeah, he would be super proud of you right now.
Thank you. Thank
You're
you.
welcome. You are living like the American dream, which is like what a lot of parents, immigrant parents, hope. They moved here obviously for a better life for themselves, but also for their kids. So
Thank you.
yes,
Thank you
they
so
would
much.
be
You
super
are
proud
too.
of you. My mom's happy. I call her Maria. Her name is Maria. So I'm always like, hey, Maria. So
Maria.
I always joke with her. So first question on Google when I went on there was, does
Uh-oh.
Ava Max wear a wig? And I thought that was
No,
super funny
I do
because
don't.
I thought it was super funny because I had read previously, that how you came up with the Max, right? So obviously you don't wear a wig. You wear a wig once in a while, correct?
I wear wigs on photo shoots and videos just because I don't want to fry my hair off. Because
Mhm.
you know, on set, you like straighten your hair, you curl it, you spray it. It's like with all these chemicals. So I decided to wear wigs on music video sets and photo shoots because I did, you know, style my hair once and it was just so tough and dry the next day. I'm like, what if I did this every day and have no hair left? So I'm like, you know what? That's what I'm gonna do. So I kind of protect my hair that way. But everyday life, it's me.
And then it was by accident that you got the Max. So
I
tell this story because I found it really, really funny.
Okay, so this is really funny. I was legit baking. And of course, I leave the cookies in for too long because I was messing with all these wigs, cutting my hair, I was dyeing my hair. Like, you know, I had the whole day to myself, the whole place to myself. I was relaxing. And that's my way of relaxing, messing with my hair. So this was about almost 4 years ago now, which is crazy.
Wow.
My cookies are burning. I started running down the stairs, like, I mean, sprinting. Like the place was like getting all smoky.
Okay. Oh, that bad.
I don't know. They were dead. They black little cookies. Like,
Oof.
and then I just like was super upset. I'm like, I was so excited about these cookies. And so I started going up the stairs and I forgot to cut the other side. And I'm like, wait, I kind of like this. And I started wearing it a few days, and then some people were like, that is hideous. And then some people were like, oh, that's kind of cool. I've never seen that before. So I went with it.
It works. It works. A matter of fact, I have a hair appointment in a couple weeks, and I was like, maybe I should do the Max. do half, keep the other
Oh
side
my
on.
God. It's a lot of maintenance though, because I can't do a regular ponytail. It has to be a bun, you know.
Oh,
Regular
okay.
ponytail just looks odd.
Because you have like half of a side, right?
Yeah, no,
Kind of.
I've gone out in public like that before, and people just think I forgot to cut the other side. Again,
Yeah.
even like this, like.
Or maybe they think it's extensions or something. I don't know. Like,
No, but it's so funny when I just get the weirdest looks. I love it.
so
You know?
how have you been keeping busy during COVID? And have you been working out at all? Are you like a fitness guru? Do you like working out? No, that's a no. She's like, I like eating, and that's about it.
Literally, if I want to like lose like, oh, let's like a couple pounds, 5 pounds, I like fasting, like from like,
Oh, okay.
you know, from like 8 p.m. to like the next day 12 or something, you know. So I like to fast. That's my way of losing weight. I don't like go crazy and like classes or like stuff like that. Or I like to go for a walk. I'm a gradual like thinker in a way, like in that fitness aspect. I'm not like I have to do it right now in a week. I better be like 10 pounds. Like I'm not like that. Like I'll be like, okay, I'm gonna take it slow, and if it happens, it happens. If it doesn't, I like my curves.
um, what is the first thing you want to do once COVID is done? I know that things are going to be different. There's going to be a new norm, but if everything were to go back to normal, what's the first thing that you would want to do?
Touring. I cannot wait to travel the world again. I mean, I don't even know what that's like anymore. I'm looking at pictures and I'm like, damn girl, you went everywhere around the world. What? Who is that? I'm like, I don't know who that is because it's been so long. I don't even know if I'll be okay flying in a plane. I'll be freaking out. I'll be like, I'm in an airplane. And I know people are flying right now, but I haven't flown since
Okay.
February. I went to Paris for a video with Alan Walker. So that was the last time.
Wow. And let me guess, you were walking around Paris or France, like
People were wearing
total
masks.
zombie, like not really appreciating what's out, because you're like, oh gosh, I'm so
Oh,
tired from the flight.
actually,
Am I right?
I don't know if I ever posted this and how you knew this, but that last trip, I went with my girlfriend Tasha. And so we have pictures of us like we couldn't even open our eyes because we were so jet lagged. We didn't sleep on the flight at all. And so, but we had to do the video. And so we have to see the Eiffel Tower.
You
Like,
do.
and then we started walking, and I'm not kidding you. We like got lost a little bit in Paris, and then we're like, we gotta go back and take an hour nap before this video shoot because we were there for only 48 hours, and I had to see the Eiffel Tower.
You have to jam pack it in there. I have a similar story. I ran a marathon in Paris and I brought my sister with me. We were there for like 4 days, and the Eiffel Tower, we really wanted to see it. So it was like the day after the marathon, we looked at each other. Now it's lit up. The Eiffel Tower, like they light it up at night. And I looked at her. I was like, we got to do it now. We're not going to do it. And so she's like, are you going to be okay going up the steps? Because I was like so sore. I was like, no turning back now. We're like,
Oh my God,
do it now.
so it's literally like that, especially with girlfriends. We're like, you got to convince me to do this because I won't do it. Like
right. Like tomorrow, I want to sleep in and have a nice breakfast.
Exactly. Breakfast is, why is it when we travel in hotels, breakfast is like the number one thing I look forward to the most.
Yes.
I'm just like, hotel breakfast.
Yes. It's like, yeah. You're like, what country am I in? What kind of breakfast am I getting today?
I know, exactly. Sometimes I'm like, I forget what country I'm in.
So I wanted to end with your avatars, okay? Super fans. I posted up a question on my Twitter yesterday, and it was funny because all of a sudden it started lighting up. Like I tweeted and then I closed the app, and when I opened, I'm like, whoa, what is all this? Like, I asked them, hey, do you have any questions for Ava Max? So I wanted to end this interview with that. Number one question I kept seeing on there is, when are you getting the music video for My Head in My Heart?
Okay. You know what's funny about that? I can't say anything yet, but I have to say something is coming. I can say something is coming for sure in the next month.
Okay.
Does that help?
That's not enough. Give me more.
Give me more.
Is it going to be a tease? Is it an actual video? Like I need a little more here, Ava.
It's a video for sure. You guys are definitely getting a video for My Head in My Heart. Okay.
Okay.
We can't just say no to that. I mean.
Okay. Good. I was going to say, like, you can't put out the song and not give a video, right?
Exactly.
Here's the other question too. If you weren't doing music, then what? What would you be doing?
Oh my God. I've said this multiple times and I'm not even kidding you. This is what I would do. I would be an interior designer. I'm not kidding. I love interior designing. Like, as you can see, my butterfly chairs and my Maryland. I love putting things together. I love putting colors together, wild colors with like neutrals. Like I have a thing for like interior decorating. Like I really love it.
Awesome. Do you like doing that with fashion too?
Yes, fashion. Oh my God. It's kind of like fashion in a way.
Yeah.
You put together clothes, you put together furniture, painting. It's like colors, schemes. I love that so much.
Yeah. I love it too. I'm always kind of like, something's not right over there. Hold on. Let me try this. Let me try that.
I know. It's literally everywhere I go. I'm just like, oh my God, that's kind of cute. That table should have replaced my other table.
Right. All right. So shout out to Angelo. He says he loves you a lot. He loves you tons.
I love you, Angelo.
He wants to know what your quarantine go-to when you're at home. So let's say your quarantine go-to food when you're at home.
My gluten-free, I've been trying to say gluten-free while into the pandemic because I'm not in Europe eating the best bread. So I'm like, well, no, this is a good time. So gluten-free pasta with my Raoul's sensitive marinara sauce and bacon bits and chicken.
He asked for one, not like 3 things, okay?
No, that's one.
Is it? Okay.
I put it in the pasta. Oh my God.
You mix it all together?
It's not like a big chicken on the side. It's like I cut it up and like, I don't know. It's so good. And it's not that bad for you because it's gluten-free brown rice pasta.
Okay. I'll have to go shopping for it.
It's at Whole Foods. It's in like a ancient blue and white box.
Okay.
It's the
It's the best. Now they're going to sell out thanks to you.
Oh,
They're going to sell out because of you.
no.
Let's see. At Haya RF10, she says, "What's your favorite song on the Heaven and Heart?" And sum it up in about 3 words. She loves you a lot, by the way.
Heaven and Hell or Head and Heart? So I think she combined.
She wrote, yeah, she probably Heaven and Heart. She wrote.
Heaven and Hell, probably. My favorite song. My favorite song on Heaven and Hell has to be. Nope, this is a tough one. Who's laughing now? Because I really love the video, and I love that I got to play a lot of characters, and I wrote that treatment kind of to show how I felt growing up, like trying to make it in the music industry, and like basically saying now who's laughing now to all the people that didn't help me.
Okay, all right, and the last
the revenge song, I love
it. Let's see. Oh, never. B. Brittany says, "Come to Texas. We want to see you in Texas."
I want to go to Texas too again. I miss traveling, Brittany.
Someone else asked if you know how to speak Spanish, if you'll come to Argentina.
I want to learn more Spanish. All I know is uno, dos, tres.
Uno, dos, tres. That's enough. That'll get you.
But I'm gonna learn more.
And Joe Blue Music wants to know, what's the hardest song that you've written?
Hardest song to sing, he thinks, probably.
Maybe lyrically, or what took you the longest to write? What was kind of?
I think, Kings and Queens had a lot of lives, and it had different lyrics. And it took a minute to get Pop Champagne and Raise a Toast, because we had so many different things in there, but then we wanted to keep it fun, but also impactful. We didn't want to make it, because we kept going back and forth. Instead of making the chorus full impactful, we thought, let's mix it, make it fun and kind of meaningful, and not like, it was like a good mixture.
Okay. And then it turned out great. It turned out great.
Thank you.
And final question, and this is from me, what can we expect from you moving forward? Like, is there going to be another album maybe in 2021 or 2022? I know you said you've written a lot of music, so, during quarantine.
Well, I promise you guys there will be no shortage of music. I have a lot of music coming, always and forever. I think on the album spectrum, you just gotta wait and see. I can't just give away my secrets.
So we're ending this interview in suspense. Thank you, Ava Max. Thanks a bunch. It was great talking to you. I appreciate it.
Thank you too, Deanna.
Bye. How do you say bye? Bye. Take care in Albania.
Mir papshim. That's bye. Mir papshim.
Okay, I can't say it. Beijinhos is in Portuguese, means kisses.
We can say in 2 languages.
Yeah, we'll just stop. Beijinhos, ciao.
Ciao in Italian.
Thank you so much, Ava.
Thank you. I'll hope to see you soon.